What's happening, y'all? Kind of want to talk here about the body and the chakras and the relation to the chakras to the body parts, and I'm gonna tie it in to some biblical points as well. You know what I'm saying? We have something supposedly it's called a Taurus field, and it's like you can look at something. There's a video called it's called Thrive, and this dude talks about the vector equilibrium, and it's almost like a wormhole like type looking thing. It's like a funnel that gets small and it goes down to the bottom, but from the bottom there's also an opposite one shooting up to the top, and it's like basically your body's it's like say you took two uh you took a wire, you wrap it around a nail, and then you attach it to a 9-volt battery each end, and it'll create this field, and it goes out and to the bottom, and it comes back in. Uh, and basically, our body has the same effect. I mean, it's just like oxygen. You can't see it, but yet you know it is there. Um, Also, it's like your skin sensitivity until you work on understanding it deeper, you want to understand how much sensitivity of feeling you do have. Like me, I can sense an electromagnetic field. You know what I'm saying? And listen, if you want to experience this phenomenon for yourself, just go step out in a stormy day, and there's you'll walk in a certain spot, and all of a sudden you'll feel all your hair move. It'll just shift, and that's because it's been static electricity has collected itself to the hair on your body, and it's running around your skin. You know what I'm saying? And your feet on the ground is grounding you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always an electrical field connected in the sky to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to show you this field as well, where you're constantly pushing things out and taking energy in. Uh, Unless you have health issues, and that field, like you'll have too much energy in one spot and not enough coming out in another, and then when the energy gets blocked or stagnant inside, it causes different health effects. But anyway, yeah, like look, the body, okay, the heart, like in the Bible, it says good. All things that are good, they came from above. Now, when you look at the body here, uh, this portion here, you know what I'm saying, the stomach, the chemical brain. You know what I'm saying? Because this stomach you got, it's got acid in it, and it's digesting your food, which have the elements in them like metals. And if you know, you throw a copper something inside of lemon juice, and it lets off electrical current. So booyah, there's your electrical brain. It's generated in your belly. You ever see when someone they haven't ate and they start to get grouchy? It's because that belly, this is taking over the mind. You know what I'm saying? And now the mind is becoming aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And like short tempered. It's, you know what I mean? For instance, it's just one way. Also, what goes into the belly, the beers. You know what I'm saying? The gluttonous behavior. But it also is the spot that sustains your sustains you, but you can overdo it, and you'll notice that you can look around and see who overdoes it. You can tell that uh they got demons on them. You know what I'm saying? The disembodied spirits, man. Uh, when they were in flesh, they used to devour everything. That was the thing. It was like all the giants, all the beings, all the hybrids. They consume everything. So when people are influenced by them, it makes them uh, overeat. You know what I'm saying? And consume, because I mean, gluttony really is a demon, my opinion. So I mean, you can walk around every time you see someone with too big of a belly, you can go ahead and pray against those demons. I mean, but look, when you do that, the more you start attacking spiritually, the more they attack back. They get mad. You know what I'm saying? And then they start to hit you up. You know what I mean? So if you ain't ready, you know what I'm saying? You ain't made the proper preparations. It's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? The gremlins will come out of nowhere, dude. Basically, I mean that's just like a catch-all phrase for invisible forces that cause chaos and wreak havoc and get you distracted or fearful or anxious. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. See, the heart. This is the place, where love, compassion, uh, kindness they come from, but also murders, thefts, adulteries come from people's hearts. So, and also in the Bible it says, above all things, the heart is deceitful. And then it also says that man's has an infinite capacity for evil imagination. I'm not saying that's not saying don't use your imagination at all. It's just saying it's warning you, be careful, because before you commit an act, before a guy goes out and picks up a hooker, for instance, he's thinking about it in his mind. So therefore, that it was birthed from a supernatural place, because that's the thing about the heart and the mind and this body and that energy. What's holding that energy together? What's converting that into life force? You know what I'm saying? Uh, we have a spiritual component to its element. Like it says, like in the Bible says that in the blood is the spirit. You can you can say, like, you see people and you'll say that person is high spirited, and it's something you can see. It's not something you can see, but it's something you can tell if you meet a person who is of high spirits. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, or you'll see someone, and it's just like it's almost like they have, almost like they have a superpower. Well, that's a lot of these people are more in tune with, they've been born again. And then when you've been born again, it's like you step into the knowledge that you are a spiritual being. You know what I'm saying? That you are not just flesh and blood. See, when people stop at the mind and the heart and they edify the man, that's basically humanism. There's been a lot of forms of that throughout history. So basically what it is, you edify the flesh, but through worship of the mind and the heart. You know what I'm saying? And basically what's the fruit of the mind and the heart? The works of thine hands. These things are all tied together. Even the works of thine hands are in your imaginations. They're in your heart and your mind before you even do them. Unless you're a slave and you have no thought for yourself and you just do what you're told, and that's something different. That's almost like your spirit, your life force, because your time, your energy is part of this life force. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this Chinese internal martial arts. It's called Jing Yi Quan, which means it means mind form boxing, or it also means mind heart boxing, because it basically, before you punch, it's already in your heart and your mind to do so. So instead of working on punching, you work on your internal, your mind, your breath, your body posture, and then you learn how to punch and kick and do these other things. When in a lot of self-defense martial arts, they just teach you how to fight, and then after you learn these, after that, then they start to teach you about this internal thing. So it's just two different ways of going about learning self-defense or striving for masteries. You know what I'm saying? Basically, and that's kind of tied into this as well. Because it's like in the Bible, like there's this fascination with the third eye, and it's like people want to deny that it exists because the occult so heavily emphasizes it. When it's in the Bible, it talks about the eye of your mind. You know what I'm saying? So there is something going on in our mind where it's like it's a tapping into this invisible dimension. You know what I'm saying? Or it's your consciousness, besides outside of your body. It seems like, I mean, even it says in the Bible, like we will be changed in a twinkling of an eye, and then we shall see each other for as we really are. So this is almost like we're living in some kind of illusionary uh matrix. You know what I'm saying? Either way, whether it's real, totally solid, or if it's just is holographic and it is a projection and it's all being held together externally. You know what I'm saying? When it appears to us that it's from the inside out, but maybe it's from the outside in. Uh, these are crazy things. Then you look at the body once again. What's below that belly? That causes a lot of problems for people. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to that mind and heart being overpowered by that. You know what I'm saying? And there's many ways that comes out. And you know, uh, it's just everything. It's kind of like it's people always want to blame the gun, but not the heart and the mind of the man that used it illegally. You know what I'm saying? Misused what he had. People can misuse their hands. They can misuse their mouth, or the throat chakra. You know what I'm saying? Ether, air. You know what I'm saying? We speak. It goes out in the air. We breathe. You know what I'm saying? It says in the Bible that the tongue is set on fire of hell and of death. And if you can't control, the tongue is like the rudder of the body. Like, you ever seen someone who their mouth got them into problems because they just couldn't shut up? Or have you ever seen someone belittle someone so bad that they make them cry? You know what I'm saying? That's that tongue, hell and death. Or you ever seen someone instigate a problem? And all this is coming from these people's minds and hearts, what's coming out the mouth. But above all things, that heart is deceitful. And the mind has infinite capacity for evil imagination. And listen, we look at HARP, we look at weather modification, we look at the FEMA, we look at silent weapons for silent wars, we look at Iron Mountain Report, we look at Mein Kampf, we look at the writings of Crowley. That's proof that man's imaginations left to himself, restricted, that people do evil things, and then they even influence and infect others with these evil ideologies. You know what I'm saying? These fairy tales. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but that's how it works, man. So you got this is your intellectual brain center. You got your emotional center, chemical center. Sexual center. You know what I mean? Basically, and what's below the mind and the heart, the belly and the whatever your junk is. Uh, and like I said, that stuff just if using wrong gets people into trouble. I mean, there's even you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, or prison sex, where they rape 10 guys rape a guy in his butt, because he's for whatever reason they'll rationalize the reason to do that behavior, and it's quite sickening. You know what I'm saying? And society's okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows you how truly just wrong we are. You know what I'm saying when it comes down to it? Because I mean, it's where this is supposed to be civilized. It's total hypocritical fraud. You know what I'm saying? So uh, you can see your belly, man. It creates electricity. Your brains run off electrochemical signals. You know what I'm saying? Your heart, that's your blood pumping motor. You know what I'm saying? That runs the brain because it pumps the blood to the brain, and then down there, and then the sexual center is also used as a waste dispersant area as well. So that's the proper usage, and for having a family, making a family. You know what I'm saying? That's the other purpose. Even though we've been taught to kind of use it leisurely. You know what I'm saying? And that's discussed in the martial arts as well. And there's multiple. There's the evil doctrine. Then there's the other people who try to do what's right. They're just honest about not things. But then there's other people who kind of try to use it as this this magic wand, I guess you could say. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's like the body is like it's a emitter, it's a radio signal, and it's an antenna. You know what I'm saying? And Just familiarize yourself with that.